How does the appeals process work? An appeal is a process where one party in a lawsuit asks to have a lower court's decision overturned by a higher court, usually known as an appellate court. In civil suits, the verdict may be appealed by either party, but there are strict time limits to file for an appeal that must be followed. In criminal proceedings, the state or federal government is not eligible to pursue an appeal if the defendant is found not guilty due to double jeopardy, but the defendant is allowed to challenge a guilty verdict. For a party filing an appeal, proving that the lower court's verdict was the result of a legal error is the most important objective. An appeal will not be considered unless a party is alleging that a mistake or error in law took place at the lower court level. Typically, facts are not reconsidered on appeal. The appellate court will decide whether the law was properly followed on the lower court level, and/or it can review the constitutionality of a law or issue in the case. The party filing the appeal, the appellant, will have to initially present its argument to the court in writing in the form of a document known as a brief. The appellant's opposition in the lower court case, who is responding to the appeal, the appellee, is also allowed to present a brief defending the trial's verdict, arguing that there was no significant legal error made in the trial that would warrant a reversal of the lower court or federal agency's decision. If the briefs are not enough to decide the appeal, an oral argument before the court may be needed. The appeals judges can question the lawyers making the oral arguments before it. Once the Court of Appeals reaches a verdict, it is considered final unless it results in the case returning to the lower court for additional proceedings. There is very little during the appeals process that you will have complete control over. Having an attorney on your side who has experience successfully handling appeals is one of them. It is essential to speak to an appellate attorney as soon as possible, as most appeals must be done within only a few days after a final judgment is entered. If an appeal deadline is missed, you will likely completely lose the opportunity for the court to consider the case. So do not hesitate to reach out to a lawyer immediately. It's time to ask the lawyers.